to make 5 to 6 times more than what you make now? If the answer is maybe, because that's a long way from here, consider that from Estonia to Finland or Poland to Germany is a whole lot like going from St. Louis to Southern Illinois. In other words, you don't necessarily have to go there to live. You can just go there to work and come home. Okay? Sometimes you can just get, if you live in let's say Western Poland and you want to work in Eastern Germany, you get on a train and in 45 minutes you're there. You can commute by train and go home and make 5 to 6 times more. Why wouldn't you? In fact, headhunters in Germany are so hip on getting these Polish doctors and healthcare workers that they go to the hospitals and they put flyers on their cars, on the cars of the healthcare workers, promising 5 times the pay, 2 years of free language lessons, because Polish and Germany are different lessons, or different languages, okay, and free housing for a year if you come to work for us. So let me think. I don't know the language, but they'll teach me the language for free. I'm going to make 5 times the wages that I make now. Oh, and by the way, they're going to give me a place to live. So my expenses go down and my wages go up by 5 times. Why wouldn't they consider that at least? Now, the authorities in these countries, in Poland, in Hungary, in Romania, these other Central European countries, they've drafted soldiers, nuns, and lifeguards to help out. Now, can you imagine, okay, where's my nurse? Well, she moved to Germany, but this guy is a lifeguard, and because it's cold and he's not sitting at a pool working on his tan, he's going to go ahead and be your nurse for today. That's what they've got to deal with. Hungary, in fact, is pressuring doctors to give up their private practices and their right to choose which hospital they serve, and saying, look, you just need to work for the state and we're going to tell you where to go. And as a result, in that totalitarian way of looking at things, 6 out of 10 doctors in Hungary that are graduating from, or 6 out of 10 Hungarian medical students that are graduating to be doctors say, you know what, we're not sticking around here, we're leaving. 60% of their doctors, but their students graduating from the medical schools, are planning to leave. In fact, a statement made by one, it said, we would rather be cashiers at Aldi or Tesco, said one doctor, who is barred from government rules from speaking out. So if you live in that country, in Hungary, you can't even speak out against the government if you're a doctor. Isn't that something? He also said, we would earn more money and have the weekends off if we worked at Aldi or Tesco instead of working in the medical profession. Okay? Now, same thing here in the U.S. I mean, there's lots of foreign-born doctors here in the U.S. Why is that? It's not because we're not graduating doctors in this country. We are. But many of them are coming from other places because they can make more money here. Okay? Now, does all this have to do with the pandemic? Not necessarily. This story that I told you about in the Wall Street Journal shows how the pandemic is getting worse, making things worse, I should say. But we've had this problem. I shouldn't say a problem. We've had this syndrome in the U.S. for a long time. Foreign-born doctors, or doctors who are from someplace other than here, being doctors and healthcare workers here in the U.S. And they're doing it because they can. They're making more money, okay? Now, here's a story that I picked off of a website called the Equal Times. Good website. And this story was dated October 2019. So before the pandemic, before they start eating bats and other crap in that wet market in China, or until they release the virus out of the lab, or however the heck it happened. But this was October 2019. They're talking about how in Poland, there's an influx of doctors and healthcare workers from India moving to Poland, also from Russia, Ukraine, Albania, Belarus, Moldova, and Georgia, moving to Poland to be healthcare workers in Poland. And you know why they're doing it? because the money was better in Poland than where they came from. So before you damn the Polish doctors for leaving, many of those Polish doctors left for Germany, but then many Indian doctors or Russian doctors or Ukraine, Albanian, Belarus, Georgian doctors, and other professions moved to Poland because things were better for them. A free society is truly mobile. They've always been that way. And if you live in a free society and you want to go ahead and be adventurous, take the risk, put forth the extra effort of uprooting yourself and moving someplace else where you may not have friends and family, you may not know the language, it's going to be tough, but you know in the end you're going to make life better for you or better for you and your family. A free society is mobile. You go where it's better. That's just the way it's always worked, okay? And a free society is better than a society ruled by a totalitarian regime, okay? But it's not without flaws. And you can see some of the flaws in that system. Now, in Poland, they could use more doctors. Maybe if they'd have paid them better, they'd have kept them or gave them a reason to stay. Maybe they just need to recruit more doctors from India. I don't know. But in a free society, it's not without flaws, but you can always elect to change things yourself to remedy those flaws. Let's go back to the Hungarian doctor who was pissing and moaning about, it'd be better to work at Aldi. I'd get paid more and my hours would be less. Son, why don't you just go to work at Aldi then? Think about it. Don't complain about how things are awful. You live in a free society. If it really pays more to work at Aldi than it does being a doctor, then quit the medical profession and work at Aldi. Or move to Germany. Yeah, but I'd be away from my family. Okay, well, you make more money. So work at Aldi. Yeah, but I get this benefit and that benefit, and I live across the street from the hospital. Okay, then stop complaining. Shut up and go to work. Either do something about it or shut up and go to work. Now, why do I use that story when it comes to the pandemic in the United States? Because the same thing is here. Okay? Same thing applies here. Now, please, dear listeners, sometimes when I do this, I get emails from people just calling me an insensitive person. And I'm not being insensitive, okay? I'm not being that way at all. So please, dear listeners, don't think that I'm being insensitive. Consider this a suggestion from Uncle Strong to either crap or get off the pot, okay? Talk the talk, walk the walk, do something about the problem. For instance, let's say you're a waitress or a waiter in a restaurant, and that's what you do. You make a good living at it. You enjoy it. You're comfortable doing it, and you've lost your job because they've shut down the restaurants again. Get another job. If you're living out here in Western St. Charles County or anywhere in St. Charles County out here, you can get a job tomorrow if you go to Amazon. Okay? But you may say to yourself, well, I'm a waitress. I'm a waiter. I'm not going to work at Amazon. Why not? And it's not like you're taking a pay cut from your $97,000 a year job to a $25,000 a year job. Amazon pays pretty well. They pay between $30,000 and $40,000 a year to start. Okay? Now, maybe you like being a waiter or a waitress a whole lot more than working at Amazon. I get that. But that waiter or waitress job is not available to you right now. It's not. Do something else. You don't want to be a doctor because you can get more money working at Aldi? Then work at Aldi. If you can't make money as being a waiter or waitress because they've all but shut down your restaurant that you work at, then get a job at Amazon. That's what I mean. Living free is more difficult than living under a dictatorship. It is. It's very easy. In fact, the whole Roman thing, give them bread and circus. The trophy wife this weekend had, what was that movie with Russell Crowe? Gladiator on, okay? And they're all at the Roman Colosseum getting ready to watch the gladiators fight. That was their circus. And before that, what they did is they threw loaves of bread out into the crowd. So the Roman dictatorship was doing what they could to make the people happy. Here's a loaf of bread, and here's some entertaining. Now leave us alone. That's how life works under a dictatorship. It's easy. It's happy. You don't have to think for yourself. You throw yourself in neutral. You will always have everything that you need. Little of what you want, but everything that you need. Living free is more difficult than living under a dictatorship, living in a closed society. But the benefits and the happy factor are much greater, okay? If you're hurting financially due to COVID-19, get another one. Get another job, okay? And in the meantime, there are lots of philanthropic organizations that'll help you out. That'll help you out during the interim. You've lost your job. It may be a couple weeks before you get another one if you look hard. Don't be afraid to go to some philanthropic organization and get a little bit of food. Have them help you with your rent. Have them help you with your house payment. Have them help you with your utility bills. Many of these places will do it. They've got the extra money to do that kind of stuff, some of which was given to them by good people, some of which was given to them by the government. Ask them for help. Sometimes they can help you. But in the meantime, get another job. Don't blame your misfortune on the guy you saw at Walmart who refused to wear his mask. Yeah, this guy wouldn't wear his mask at Walmart, so thanks to that, they've shut down the restaurant and I'm out of a job. Stop it. Sure, he's a knothead, but aren't you better than that? I'd like to think you are. If you're not working, plot another course. Plot another course for yourself instead of binge watching a TV show. Because think about it. Let's say we're working 40 hours a week. Now you've lost your job due to the pandemic. If I'm doing my math correctly, you've got an extra 40 hours a week of free time. Look for another job. Now I get it if you're working 40, 45 hours a week already, and you don't have time because you're tired at the end of the day to go out and look for another job. Or by the time you get off, those places are closed. I get that. But if you're not working, don't binge watch the TV show on television because you have the free time. Go out and get another job. If you're not working, plot another course for yourself, okay? Be thankful for what you have. You've got a whole lot. You've got a whole lot more than those people in Central Europe. And the people in Central Europe have a whole lot more than those in India. And I would suspect that those in India have a whole lot more than those in Nepal. What did I read about in Nepal? The students in Nepal are supposed to be learning from home. They have virtual schools. Just pick it up on your cell phones. Pick it up on the internet. There's only one problem. The average person in Nepal earns $1,000 a year. So you're not going to be able to just go to your house and plug in your computer because that computer costs more than what you earn in a year. Sure, you can pick it up on your cell phone if you want. Most of that country has 2G service. 2G service. Okay. You can't see the video, but you can listen to the audio, okay? No matter where you are, you have things better than so many others. No matter where you are, you can make things better for yourself if you put your mind to it. No matter where you are, what condition you're in, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, please understand that although you're sad because you have no shoes, consider the man who has no feet. Well, that's it. We're done. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. JamesStrongShow@hotmail.com. That's the email address you can send to me. If you do that, I put you on the mailing list. I go ahead and email you a link to the podcast as soon as it's published. You can download it and listen to it at your leisure. Go to one of the many, many, many sites that you can go to pick up the podcast. And basically, it's anywhere you can get podcasts, okay? iTunes, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Facebook, Twitter, TuneIn, Radio Online, the podcast app, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. CastBox, SoundCloud, Actually, SoundCloud, they're not always there, just some of them, because they want me to pay more to put more on. I'm not doing it. Deezer, Podcast Addict, GeoSavant,